Dahoo Forest, Dahoo Doris, welcome Christmas, come this way. Dahoo Forest, Dahoo Doris, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Yeah, that's right. I looked up the lyrics to Welcome Christmas. It's a beautiful song, and a part of a beautiful song made by Chuck Jones, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I can't think of a Christmas without it. The beautiful animations, the music, and made by the person behind such amazing shows like Tom and Jerry. So, this one might be a little shorter because it doesn't really have a lot going on. It's just like about 30 minutes at most. So with that being said, let's jump into How the Grinch Stole Christmas. One of the most iconic things of the Grinch is that he was voiced amazingly by Boris Karloff, and the narration too. Which besides Jim Carrey, Boris Karloff has the best Grinch voice. Yeah, that's right, I'm talking to you, 2018 Grinch, with your horribly dated music and lazy animations. Even after 66 years, this version of the Grinch is a more faithful adaptation to the original book written by Dr. Seuss back in 1957. For me, what truly makes this the superior and definitive Grinch movie in my opinion is the fact that the Who's are more close as a community and don't rely on cheap and lazy by-the-numbers animations that Illumination does, or are bitter, materialistic beings that rely on what to get instead of giving and just treat Christmas as a giant marketing scheme. It's more of a community of people who love the year and want to spend time together. And this is a beautiful contrast to the Grinch, who's up on Mount Crumpet, who lives alone, aside from Max hating the Who's. You know, you can really tell that Chuck Jones had a hand in making this, considering how some of the Grinch's expressions are very similar to Tom and Jerry's.
It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small.
One of the things I didn't understand from the 2000s version of the Grinch, which I love, but the Grinch as a kid was made fun of in that version, so he ran away to Mount Crumpet, whereas this one always lived in Mount Crumpet and got tired of all the noise and noise and noise, so he finally acted. So that's why he decided to stop Christmas.
I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming.
We then get a look into Grinch's psyche as he remembers all the Christmases, all the noisemakers, all the instruments that the Who's play with that make so much noise. Which honestly, I'd be upset too if I had to listen to all the noise. I also like how, unlike the other movies, the Grinch's childhood was left mostly mysterious. How he didn't have a reason for hating Christmas. There wasn't a backstory to his childhood. It was just the story of someone, a bitter shut-in, who was tired of all the noise, and had to do something about it. Like, I get it, they have to have the Grinch have a reason for not liking Christmas, but you can make the Grinch mostly mysterious. You don't need to have his childhood memories. Like, I understand why this version of the Grinch wanted to get rid of Christmas because of the noise, but the Jim Carrey Grinch really doesn't have a reason, because, as he stated, he hates Christmas. So why wasn't that more of the driving force behind him getting rid of Christmas, instead of emphasizing on the noise? But anyways, back to this story. While trying to find a plan to stop Christmas, he sees Max covered in snow and realizes a perfect plan, an awful plan. He found a perfectly awful plan or idea. Thus begins the iconic montage as he prepares to steal Christmas, paired with the beautiful music by Thurl Ravencroft. Look, I know this goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyways. This is one of the most iconic Christmas montages of all time. The beautiful scenery, how the Grinch makeshifts a Santa Claus suit all nastily, and the music by Thurl Ravencroft is truly an iconic scene, paired with comedic moments of Max trying to stay with the Grinch and even getting his tail caught in the sewing thing. Now, other than that, I do really enjoy Jim Carrey's version, how he's saying the different versions of You're a Me and Mr. Grinch, going into different voices and stuff. And I think, other than Jim Carrey's version, this one is a truly iconic scene in Dr. Seuss or even movie history. And yeah, there's a 2018 Illuminations movie, but let's not talk about that one. Now that the suit is complete, all he needs is a reindeer. But since the Grinch doesn't have any reindeer, I guess he'll just have to improvise with the help of good old Max as a reindeer. By the way, can we talk about how weirdly luxurious the Grinch's sleeping arrangements are? I mean, I didn't expect him to sleep on trash. Well, I kinda did. But really, we see the Grinch tie an antler to the top of Max's head and ties it off with a string. Looking back to admire his handiwork, he sees that the antler is far too heavy for Max. The Grinch carries a lot of sacks out to the sleigh to steal the presents, as Max jumps onto the sled, as the Grinch looks to the audience annoyed. Another example of classic Chuck Jones expression, as he takes Max to the front of the sleigh to pull to Whoville. Hey, come on now. You gotta respect Max. How else are you gonna get back and forth to Whoville with all the blunders of Whoville Christmas, huh? Max and the Grinch arrive to Whoville in the dead of night while the Whos are in their beds to snooze. The Grinch wasting no time in picking a first house, ordering Max to bring a ladder as he climbs it to the roof, jumping into the chimney. You know, you give the Grinch some credit. He is dedicated to sticking to the character of going through the chimney rather than just going through a window or the front door. See the Grinch emerge from the chimney, his yellow eyes glowing in the darkness, as he begins to steal the stockings on the fireplace mantel. We then cut to another iconic scene in the movie where the Grinch is stealing all the presents of Whoville. And this is where I feel like Chuck Jones' animation style really shines, as it gives him the opportunity to really go crazy with the different ways that Grinch steals stuff, playing pool with ornaments, causing the ornaments to fall from the tree and land in a mouse hole, somehow causing them to escape through the drain and into a bag. Hey, you gotta give Grinch points for finding a way to get the ornaments down to the sleigh without breaking them, although chances are they're probably gonna break on their way up to Mount Crumpet. As the Grinch was stealing another tree, an ornament fell down and rolled gracefully out of the room, signaling another person, who caught the Grinch as he was stuffing the tree up, shocking him. Why, it was none other than Cindy Lou Who, no older than 2, who caught the Grinch.
Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
You have a lot of explaining for, Grinch. Go ahead, explain to Cindy Lou Who why you're taking the tree. Of course, anyone who's read the book knows that he thought up a lie and thought it up quick.
There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
What's interesting is there's a lost tape version where the Grinch actually takes Cindy Lou Who, which ends with Cindy falling back to Whoville in a giant snowball, presumed to be dead. After his little fib worked, he patted her on the head and gave her a glass of water before slowly closing the door, before fiendishly returning to his plot and shoving the tree up the chimney before escaping. Poor Cindy's gonna think the tree will be repaired by the time she wakes up the next morning, only to find that there will be nothing there the next morning on Christmas Day. having accomplished his goal and stole Christmas from the entire city of Whoville. The Grinch readies his trip back up to Mount Crumpet by forcing Max to carry the entire sleigh and himself all the way up to the top of Mount Crumpet. Which, why would you do something like that to Max? Look at him, he's so tiny. How could you not just get some robotic reindeer or something, making poor Max pull all that sleigh? Excited that he finally took Christmas away from the Who's, he ponders what their sounds would be when they realize Christmas isn't coming. He'd tell them that they'd be crying and boo-hoo-hoo, a sound that he simply has to hear. So he holds his hand up to his ear and he listens for the town of Whoville, only to find that the Who's are singing sweet songs without care. Down in the warm town of Whoville, the Who's gathered around, and instead of sounds of sadness, the Who's began to sing songs of Christmas, songs of togetherness, as the true spirit of Christmas rose up to the sky. Or maybe not, who knows? For all we know, it could be how the Doctor gets his regeneration powers. But seriously though, the reason I think this is the true spirit of Christmas is because you see it gracefully ascending to the sky to where the Grinch is. And despite what the Grinch hears, it shows that the Who's don't really need material items, and that the Grinch is just stealing items away, but not the true essence of Christmas.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
He pondered in the snow, but then he realized finally what Christmas was about. I think it's an interesting touch to change his eyes from yellow with red pupils to white with blue pupils. It's like showing us that his soul has been cleansed. Embraces what Christmas is all about. The background transitions to a yellow color, more of a warm color, as the Grinch holds his face, seeing that he smiled. Aw, ain't that just a sweet, sweet transition? But wait, where are the presents? The sleigh begins to fall off Mount Crumpet as the Grinch runs to follow it, weirdly enough changing the eye colors back and forth from yellow to white. This was more than likely a simple editing mistake as the eyes switch back and forth between scenes. Just when the Grinch thinks he can't save the sled, he feels that his heart is growing 2 sizes than it is, and has the strength to save the sleigh. I think the reason why it switches back from his old eyes to his new eyes is because he has doubt, or that it's his Grinch side trying to fight with the new one. Emboldened by this new Christmas spirit, he lifts the sleigh high in the air, gaining the strength of 10 Grinches, as he rides down to Whoville with all the presents, letting Max ride in the sleigh. Look at Max, still happy after all he's been through. Now that is a true companion, making his way down to Whoville as the Who's allow him in to give back the presents that he had stolen, giving them to everyone far and near. Assembling the tree, everything was back to normal, thanks to the Grinch and Max. And the Grinch, they allowed the Grinch to carve the rare Who roast beast and eat with the people of Whoville, forgiving him for stealing their presents, because in the end of things, all it matters is that Christmas cannot simply be bought in the store. Christmas means a little bit more. We end this special with a reverse shot from the intro as it ascends up to Mount Crumpet, the words "the end" appearing on screen before fading to black. And that was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. In my opinion, the perfect adaptation to Dr. Seuss's story. I like the 2000s one and not the 2018 one. There's nothing I like about that one. I like the 2000s one for having Jim Carrey and the beautiful lighting and backgrounds. But other than that, it's not as good as the original. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I apologize, this seems like a lazy review. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll see you next time when you visit the Allery again. Bye! Thanks for watching, fam. Don't forget to like the video, share with your fans, comment on what you thought about the episode, or just whatever, and subscribe for more. Hit the bell to let you know when I upload my next video. Check out these 2 videos, it'll take you to more of my content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!